Hey everyone, going out on a little overnighter near town here to test out some gear and just spend a night out in the woods. Heading to the shores of Gross Reservoir, which is just west of Boulder. We're just heading up a little Forest Service road, then we'll bushwhack a little bit to kind of get away from the more developed area where there's probably going to be more people. Hopefully we'll get some good solitude out of it. I'm rocking the REI Flash 45. That's the main thing I'm testing here. I've got it pretty well loaded down. Got about, well not about, I measured it, 30 pounds in it, which is right at what they say the top comfort limit is. So we'll see how it goes. So far so good. And yeah, I just hope you guys enjoy being along for the ride. I'm looking forward to it. Well, here we are at one of the many little side canyon chutes of the Gross Reservoir. We just left the Forest Service road a little bit ago. Now it's just bushwhacking, but it's awesome. Saw a couple fishermen down there, and I'm hoping they'll be the last folks I see other than boaters out on the water. How you doing, you mountain dog? Good boy, Jack. Just came out of the woods here into a old burn area. I don't know when it burned, but I mean, there's quite a bit of undergrowth come up. It's not a very big spot, but it's kind of cool how quickly things can change in the woods out here. There's Jack cooling off. Just give you guys an idea of what I've been doing here for the day hike. That green marker there on the GPS is where I parked the car. And then the green dots are following there on the Forest Service road where I cut down. And then that's where I first encountered Gross Reservoir, right in here. So I hiked down Vinegar Gulch. And then I hiked around this peninsula here. I was scouting it for potential campsites, particularly this little area right here. That's kind of this, where the topo lines indicate that it's not so steep, but didn't really find too much. It was kind of just for a future potential camp spot. But yeah, I hiked all the way around there, and that's all bushwhacking. From where I hit the water is the end of the Forest Service road. Bushwhacked all the way around here to my current location here, where I've stopped up to have a beer and do some fishing and stuff like that. So did I think it's about a mile's worth or so of off-trail bushwhacking there. It's been awesome because one of the main things I'm doing out here, go back to my little home base area over here, is testing out the REI Flash 45. I've got it loaded up with, I weighed it before the trip, and it's 30 pounds of gear on the to the 10th of a pound, which is right at what REI says is the upper limit for the comfort range. And so I got to bushwhack it up around this peninsula out here over some pretty rugged terrain and through some tight spots in the brush, and I definitely brushed up quite a bit with the pack. It seems okay, but I'll save my thoughts on it for the actual review. But that was kind of the idea of scouting some campsites over there and then torture testing the new pack a little bit. But comfort wise, it carried really nice. I was happy with it, with the 30 pounds. Now we're just enjoying some time here on the shore. The weather was pretty nasty when I got out there on that peninsula. A little squall blew through, really nasty wind and a little bit of rain, but now we've got nice blue skies. Just on the edge of that burn area here. Beautiful place. Haven't seen any other hikers. I didn't anticipate to see any bushwhacking. Just a few kayakers and canoers. Here at Gross Reservoir, There's no motorboats allowed, so it's nice and peaceful. The fishing so far hasn't been too good, but I'm gonna finish up this beer and then we'll get right back to it and see if that makes a difference.
Hey, Jackie boy.
There's an absolutely huge northern pike or a tiger muskie or something there. I don't have much luck at catching him because I'm fly fishing and he's not that interested in eating bugs. So I'm shooting footage through my polarized sunglasses so that it shows up a little better, but man, he would be fun to catch. It's right here in the shallows. Doesn't seem all that bothered by me. But he's probably like 2.5 feet long. I have no idea how much he'd weigh. He's a big boy. Yep, he's had enough. And I brought the wrong kind of fishing rod today. Well, sorry about the wind. I climbed up this ridge here just to get some better views. I was fishing down in that area or so, and this big mountain here is the peninsula that I traversed. It's probably about, you know, that way or so over that I cut off with the Forest Service road and walked around the beach up here to this little high point where we can get some really good views of the rest of the lake. There's the dam right over there. And then just over this mountain and the top of the frame here is Boulder, Colorado. So we're pretty close. This is actually one of the most accessible camping spots, in my opinion, as far as like being close to the whole Front Range, Denver, Boulder, metro type area. Right over this way is some train tracks, which I've camped here before, and you do hear a train or so, one or two over the course of the night usually. And then right up here is this little developed area they've put in recently. Has some designated like car camping campgrounds. There's not much to see. I might walk up there. I'm kind of just curious how many people are here. Being it's a Sunday, I doubt that there's very many people staying the night. But it's a nice vista, and the weather has certainly improved. There's no more threatening clouds anywhere to be seen. Caught one little trout down there. He wasn't even big enough to warrant getting the camera out, but and the lake is chilling the beer down. Okay, it's still not like a snow melt fed alpine lake, but still good. And Jackie's having a good time too. Well, I finally found a place to settle down for the night after scoping out all up that upper developed area here. I got a nice little spur looking out right over the lake. The weather's looking great, and I'm getting some water boiling up here for dinner using the Stoic titanium 700 milliliter pot, a little DIY beer can windscreen. And there's Jack's food there, which was set out nice, but for some reason he feels the need to try to bury it. So I'm boiling up some water for some noodles. Get a nice hot meal and then just enjoy the evening. We're not at too high elevation, so it won't get too chilly tonight. And the way the sky is looking now, I may sleep without the fly on the tent. We'll just see. We'll see what it looks like once just before bed. Alright, we're boiling away here. I'm actually gonna get a hybrid system here, but I've actually got the Cozy from the GSI Minimalist, and that pot will slip right in it just fine. I'm gonna need 2 hands to do it, so we'll come back once I get it ready to rehydrate. Alright, we're all set here. Got it in the koozie there. Give it a couple minutes. Just lost my flame on this little DIY alcohol stove. Worked great. Now we just have to wait. Well, I'll be sleeping with the fly tonight. Just got done eating and getting the dishes done, and we got a bit of a squall blowing in again. But everything's secure inside the tent, so I got it guyed out way more than I probably need to, so we should be okay. All I got left to do is pump water and set up my sleeping stuff. So I'd like to wait until the squall dies down before I pump water, but we'll see if I run out of daylight or not. All right, ready for the last camp chore, really. Pumping water with the Katadyn Vario filter, pump filter. It has an outlet tube, but just to save me trouble, it's meant to screw on to like a Nalgene or something. I'm just gonna hold it in place and hope for the best. Just being lazy. Here we go. This is the first time I've used this filter all year, so I'll actually filter out a good bit of water through it and just dump it, just to make sure it kind of, you know, rinses everything out, I guess. It looks a little hazy. That's just because, see all the foam in there? It's not soap. I clean it out with this stuff called Star Sand, or Star San. It's just a food grade sanitizer, and it's really foamy. So that's what those bubbles are. Won't do me any harm to drink it. Besides, this water is gonna get boiled anyway for coffee and oatmeal. There we go. Almost 2 full liters of water. That'll be enough to drink through the night, brush my teeth, and make coffee and oatmeal in the morning. And get me out of here tomorrow morning when I hike out. Well, I got all my camp chores done. I got my sleeping bag and everything set up, and the sun has set behind the hill here. It set a little while ago. Now, Jackie and I are really just kind of enjoying ourselves and waiting for it to get dark enough to sleep, because we're both pretty tired. That squall, the storm is long gone, probably way over there. So we've got pretty nice looking skies. Since the fly's already up on the tarp, I'll leave it on, but maybe I'll sleep with at least one door rolled back, and maybe the other one too. We'll see. I guess I've never showed you guys this tent. I don't know if I'll do a review or not. This is Cabela's XPG Ultralight tent. This is a 3-person version, and I mean, it's served me well. It's never gotten me wet, but it is not really ultralight, we'll put it that way. But it's also not very expensive. So anyway, maybe I'll get a real review going if there's interest in that. But yeah, now we're just waiting for time to get in the sleeping bag. Normally this would be sitting around the campfire time, but we've got a fire ban in effect right now, and for good reason, as I'm sure you guys have probably seen all over the news, all the fires raging around here. So no big deal. Well, good morning everyone. We're all packed up. I'm packing a little differently. Instead of carrying the tent inside, I've got it lashed here under the lid on the Flash 45 just to see how it carries that way. But camp's all broken down, except my bear hang kit is up this way on our way out of here, so I can just grab it. And then I'll head up to one of the picnic tables probably, or find a good spot to make up some breakfast and coffee, because I definitely need it. Not too bad of a night though. Still working on getting Jack comfortable sleeping in a tent and stuff. He gets pretty jittery and he doesn't sleep that well and kind of keeps me up. It's okay. He brought up all the beer and he's got a light pack for the way home because he's just got empty cans. Well, this has turned out to be a pretty nice little setup. Not having to dig through my pack at all, just fetch the cook kit and stuff and come up here and we're cooking away. And of course, oh, I can't wait for this. Making a Turkish coffee, which I was under the impression is the same as cowboy coffee, except you grind it finer. But maybe with cowboy coffee you make it, you actually pour the grounds and stuff into a pot and then you pour it off into your cup and drink it, whereas Turkish coffee you drink it right off the grounds. But I don't really care. It's gonna taste good nonetheless. And we got some oatmeal coming, yeah, some Cliff Bars with some snacks I didn't eat. Maybe I'll have one at the trailhead. And then Jack's got one last little bone. Alright, breakfast is thoroughly devoured. It's pretty sweet because I just threw all the stuff then in this stash pocket here on the REI Flash 45. I didn't even have to open my pack or get the tent unpacked and stuff like that. It's pretty nice, pretty happy with it. And now, one of the nice things of not using trekking poles today is I get coffee to go. Oh, that's gonna be good. Alright, well, we're gonna set off back towards the trailhead. Getting a decent display of wildflowers. I'm a bit surprised for as low elevation as we are here. Usually you gotta go up higher to get all the different colors, but we've definitely got some yellows and purples, and I don't know the names of any of them, so, but really nice. Well, we're not too far from the trailhead here. All in all, a pretty successful trip. It was good to get some good testing in on the new pack here. I'd like to do one more trip before I get a full review of it done, but hopefully it won't be too long before I can do that. Initial impressions are really good. But that's about it for this trip. So if anybody has any questions about any of the gear I used or anything like that, feel free to post a comment there and I'll answer them as best as I can. Otherwise, hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.